Okay, let's make sure. Really, dude? Really? Oh man. Oh, it's 2 days ago. No wonder that's looking funny. All right. That's why I do this. All right, cool. Let's make sure I'm hearing myself. Yep, I'm hearing myself, so we're all good. Um, okay, there we go. All right, so for those of you that watch this, I know the big hot thing right now is the Nixon letters, and that's a big deal for me too. But while I was kind of digging down rabbit holes related to that, I kind of ran across a couple things that I remember from the past, kind of made no sense. And I will get back to those letters, possibly even later tonight. I do have some stuff on that. I'll just say that I can't disprove them and I can't prove them at this point, which is really all I'm trying to do. But there is some info out there, at least on Jimmy Jimmy Nixon and some of these businesses he was running. There's a lot of info out there, but it's kind of hard to find some of it. Some people related are hard to find related to that business, are a little difficult to find and stuff like that. But I tracked down. I looked into a couple of them, found a couple of them, whatever. Um, so maybe I'll put that out later. I think that's probably gonna be I don't know. I don't have a lot of time here, so this video is not going to hopefully be that long. I just want to talk about Paddock's properties here. I went through them a little bit, um, last time, but I just went through the list, man. This is actually the property and the all the good stuff behind it. Uh, and this was because there was an issue of what year Paddock had purchased this Babbling Brook in Mesquite, this property in Mesquite, and he did purchase it in was it January 2015? I believe it was built at that time. I believe is that's when it was finished, and he bought it, and moved in, but yeah, I still have questions over whether that matters or not within the context of what I was looking up. But some of this property stuff gets very interesting. Now, of course, Babbling Brook, nothing interesting here because they don't have any information on the mortgage of this property, which is interesting. Which is interesting to me. It looks like possibly, since it's got no previous ownership, that may be a new property. This may have been just built, and looks like he buys some new properties here and there. But strange that there's really no info here. It doesn't say what kind of mortgage he had on it, how much he paid for it, none of that sort of stuff. Then we go to the Reno one, and like I said, the difference between that and the Reno one is on the Reno one here, we see a sale amount of 228, and a half thousand, and the sale date of 2013, which I believe is when he bought it, not when he sold it, because he had this up until the time he died, it looks like. And then this again was this PN2C. Uh, down here, the same thing. And then we got down here record owner, which doesn't mean shit. So I'm guessing again, uh, possibly new property, possibly. I don't know. Anyway, don't really know too much about that. Not too worried about it anyway. Panorama City. Now, just get an outline of these things, how these work. You got Stephen Paddock and Peggy Paddock own this, right? They owned it. They bought it for 400. Looks like almost 430,000, 429, 540. Um, and do we have the mortgage date was 1993. They got a loan for wow, 94,000. They were short $94,000. Whatever, doesn't matter. Up here, then we go to Sylvia Perez. Looks like she bought it from them 2007 for 337 and a half. So it's 337 and a half. They took a bath on it. Looks like it took a bath on it. Actually, down here we got the mortgage, 164,000. Then we got 233,000. These are different mortgage companies. I wonder if it was a split mortgage. This is weird. Because down here you have adjustable, conforming, whatever that means. I mean, I know what adjustable means. Uh, Second mortgage amount 41,000, and then 164,000 from this management company or this corporation. 30 years. That was 2003 to 2004. You got another 233,000 up here. Um, for a 30-year fixed. They changed it over to a fixed 233,000. It's a little strange. A little strange. You added to your mortgage. Okay, whatever. And then up here we go up into 320. They went back to an adjustable. Not sure. That was a refinance. It says refinance. Yeah, these are both refinances. We have these refi flags. Loan to value is more than 50%. So the value of the property is not worth what that is. It's worth, you know, they're paying. I think what it is they're mortgaging way more than the property's actually worth. And this house, this property here is not the big issue. Later, that becomes a huge issue. Let me see what they bought it for. So the sale amount, that's American Savings Bank bought this in 92 for 147,000. And then Paddock comes along and buys it with Peggy for 429 in 429,000 in 93. It's a little strange. A little fucking strange. Yeah, that's a little strange. But all right, whatever. The sale price full. They bought it for the full sale price. It was being sold for 429,000. But of course, a bank owned it before that, so who knows? That's a hard one to deal with. There is no refi flag, so it looks like there's no refi flag because the mortgage amount is only 94,000, and the house was worth a lot more than that, according to this. Okay, whatever. I didn't look into this place, so I don't even know, on Zillow or any of that bullshit. Anyway, let's get out of that. El Paso Drive, Los Angeles. What do we got here? I'm only trying to get down to a certain one, and it's not very far into this. Hector Gonzalez kept selling it to himself for some weird ass reason. Paddock bought this one, 1990. We don't have any information on this one either. We don't even have a previous owner on this one. So not sure if that was new construction. It says resale. So, okay. Owner relationship, husband, wife. He was married at the time. Or Peggy was his wife at the time. And his address was Havelock in Los Angeles, Havelock Avenue, Los Angeles. Let's see. So we get to Reno. And is this where? No, this isn't where it gets shady. Reno. So we got this Logies. Hey, what's up? What's up? Paddock. So he bought this from let's see, Marketing Corporation. Montage Marketing Corporation. When did he buy this? Did say we got no information whatsoever on this one. Until these the Logie people came in, they bought it for 170,000. So I doubt Paddock made much off of that if 170,000 was all it was. Up here we got sale amount 170,000. Total value 43,686. So this thing ain't really worth that much anyway. But looking at the taxes, it's definitely worth more than 43,000. Improvement value 32,000. So I think you usually add those together and it ends up, but no, it's still only 80,000 the most. But I don't know. I don't, the problem is I'm not a realtor, not a real estate guy. So I don't really understand a lot of this stuff. And that is a problem. There's probably people out there that do. Here we go to Kinsel Claim, Mesquite, Texas. Okay, graze over this. We don't have really any information on this either. Strange. How is mortgage stuff? I mean, if he's paying this stuff in cash, I'm not even sure if you need because you don't have a mortgage at that point. But there's no sale days 2004. There's no even like sale amount on this stuff. But I don't know. Maybe the laws are different in different states. I don't fucking know. And it's Teresa Hawley apparently she took loans out on this thing, 134,000. So obviously Paddock didn't make much off of this. 134,000 pocket change to a guy like that. Spend that kind of money in casinos. Melbourne, Florida. All right. Go down here a little bit. There's Paddock. Who did he buy it from? He bought it from this person. Lennar Homes LLC. I'm guessing that looks to me like this is a new home. 246,000, 2013. Uh, then this loan was for 375,000 in 2015. So again, made a little bit of change off that, but not a lot considering this fucking dude and what he was gambling. Okay, so this is where it gets interesting. We got Doty Avenue in Hawthorne, California. The other is Cornblum Avenue, I believe, in Hawthorne, California, which I believe Hawthorne is right outside of Los Angeles. Um, I believe it's even part of it's part of Los Angeles County, I believe. Um, okay. So these the Batias Batia, I don't know how to pronounce that, but they're in Cerritos, California, which I mean, Paddock was actually living there. They're not the ones that bought it off him though, and that's the problem that I have is the person that bought it off of him. So here we got Stephen Paddock, this other Paddock. Here's this Patrick Del Tore. But then we go down here and we got more Stephen Paddock, right? He bought it off of Arthur Pearl Investment Corporation LLC. I believe these are condos. Yeah, it's condo. It's listed as a condo. They look like apartments because I believe we looked these ones up. Visalia. I don't know. There's an address for all these properties he owned. So Visalia, let me see here. I'll tell you real quick. I can scroll up to that. Let's see. This is Doty Avenue in Hawthorne. This is page 25. This is actually stuff that's okay. So hold on. See, why the stuff wasn't released initially. If you're talking about this isn't what you think it is. I don't think this isn't the these aren't the whatever those new Jimmy Nixon things. If you want to know my thoughts on why that wasn't initially released, because it didn't need to be. And you could say if it's fake, they're not going to release because it's fake. If it's real, they're not going to release because they don't release shit. They didn't release nothing to us. Let's see. So what are we looking at? We're looking at Visalia. I'm not seeing it on here. So no, I'm not seeing your Visalia on here. So here was another problem we had. While I'm on this page, I guess. We have you know what? I that's not something I was looking for. The Visalia thing. I don't know. I'd have to mess with it. Um let's see. Is that California? I think it's Visalia's in California, if I remember right. That's right. It was man, I don't even remember what I talked about in that one. I don't even remember why that came up. Anyway, so real quick, We're going to his driver's licenses. I need his driver's license. Okay, so um, let's see. I need driver's licenses. These aren't driver's licenses. These are utilities. There's driver's license information. Okay, so driver's license information. We got Mesquite, Texas. Uh, oh, that's Texas. This is Nevada. It says reported date here of 2014. That's where we're having some issues because not really sure what that reported date means. I think that's reported when he was moving. So Eric made that video about the letters claiming Paddock was in Mesquite, but he hadn't bought the house in Mesquite yet because he didn't. He bought the house in 2015, January 2015. This date causes a problem though, because we have a date here before he bought that house. Not sure what that is. I mean, the only explanation, because I've been bugging him about it, the only explanation he gave was that these reports are sometimes problematic, which, yeah, possibly, but there's a date there that makes that letter fit. But yeah, I'm not seeing the Visalia stuff. All this. I don't know. Was it up here? Was it up further? You're sidetracking me, man. You're sidetracking me. Let's see. Reno, Artesia, North Hills, Los Angeles, North Hollywood, Playa del Rey, Los Angeles, Artesia, Big Bear, Glendale, Los Angeles, Bear, Lancaster, Rosamond, Marina Del Rey, Panorama City, Big Bear Lake, California City, Moonbeam Avenue, Henderson, Hawthorne, Mesquite, Texas, Henderson, Nevada, Mesquite, Texas, Cerritos, California, Mesquite, Texas, Cerritos, Mesquite, Melbourne, Reno, Nevada, Moreno Valley, San Diego, Mesquite, Nevada. Visalia was on some of this stuff. Let's see. Mesquite, San Diego, Moreno Valley, Marino, Melbourne, Mesquite, Cerritos, Mesquite, Henderson, San Francisco, Hawthorne. Yeah, it was up here in San Francisco somewhere, wasn't it? Panorama City, Marina Del Rey, Rosamond, Lancaster, Glendale, Artesia, Playa del Rey, North Hollywood, Los Angeles, North Hills, Artesia, and Reno. No, I'm not seeing it. Like I said, this I thought it would be near San Francisco somewhere around that time, but I'm not seeing it. I'll have to go back and listen to that because I don't even remember where that generated from. Honestly, I don't remember where that generated from. Okay, so let's go back. See what we got here. This is all the Mesquite stuff. This is Panorama City. This is Paso Drive. I believe it's the next one. I believe it's this one. No, it's Reno, Nevada. This is Mesquite, Texas. Hawthorne. Oh yeah, Hawthorne. Okay. Fucking shit gets strange. And again, this could all make sense, and I'm just not seeing it because I'm not a mortgage guy or whatever. I don't know. But this is strange because you have Stephen Paddock, Peggy Paddock right here. They bought it from this whatever Arthur Pearl, company, which I kind of looked them up and just whatever. Some sort of corporation owns a shit ton of properties. And then Stephen and Peggy bought this place, looks like for $260,000 in 2001. Looks like the mortgage was Chase Manhattan, $195,000. And then it was refinanced to a fixed. That was a fixed, actually. It was refinanced though, $292,000. This one did get flagged, so that gives me a problem with what I was thinking. But it's a refi flag, says loan to value is more than 50%. Um, looks like it's 50% under, but I don't know because if it's worth 260,000, they'll ask for 200,000. If this thing went up in value, and this was in 2002, so 2001 they bought it. If well, it had to go up quite a bit in that 1 year. Um, but again, I don't know. Um, but then this Patrick Delatorre is on here as owning it, and this was in 2004. Okay, so he bought it in 2004. Married man, separate property, ownership rights, separate property. I don't know. Did he buy like one of their it says tenants in common because it's a condominium. It's a quadruplex, so I don't know. Did they sell like part of their property to him? They sell the back house or something. It's weird. But it's Patrick Delatorre and Monica Reynoso kind of appear quite a bit here. So then we go back to Stephen Paddock, 2004. Let's see. No, we don't have any sale information whatsoever. We just know it's quadruplex. So I don't know why the ownership changed hands. Actually, you know what? This date is later. So these are out of order. So let's see. So 2001, they bought it. And then in 2004, in early January 2004, you had this mess right here. Late January 2004, you had this guy buy it from Patrick Delatorre. Monica Reynoso is the seller. I'm guessing the realtor. I don't know. Anyway, then we go to Patrick Delatorre up here. So lender WJ Investments Inc. So it looks like an investment corporation. Mortgage amount $300,000. So how much Panic make off of this? Let's see. He bought it for where is it? 260. Didn't make much, right? Didn't make all that much. 300,000. He made 40 grand off of it. That's good for him. But then we come up here. 1.5 million. How did you get 300,000 into 1.5 million in what, 3 months? In 3 months. The fuck is that about? I mean, the sale amount is 475,000. Okay, so the sale amount is 475,000. Paddock did make some money off of this. Not a huge amount, but he made some money. So 260, he made 200 grand off of this thing. Yeah, he made 200 grand off of this thing. He did pretty good. What are we going for? We're going from what, 2001, so 3 years. In 3 years he doubled his money on this thing. I mean, could have flipped it, whatever. I guess. He could have fixed it up and flipped it. I guess that makes sense. But yeah, he made a lot of money for just a 2-year turnaround. And but anyway, so $300,000 into this. But then he got a 1.5 million. He got a loan for 1.5 million. It says mortgage amount 1.5 million. Now I know this is a building, right? So I don't understand if maybe this 300,000, the rest he paid cash, and then he got 300,000 from this WJM Investments Inc. And then up here, he bought out that loan, and he upped that loan to 1.5 million. Maybe he bought some more stuff in that complex. Maybe bought a couple more units. I don't know. That's the problem. But if you're going from 300,000 to 1.5 million on a loan, if you're changing your loan from 300,000, you change your home loan. You have a house that's $150,000, and all of a sudden you refinance it because it's a refi. into an adjustable from a fixed. You refinance it and you refinance it for 5 times the value. That's fucking nuts. That's stupid. That makes no sense. But then again, I don't really know because then these Freeman Exchange guys bought it for 1.15 million. So they took a bath on this loan. They took a big bath on this loan. They lost $400,000 off of this loan. That's a lot of money. Now we're talking about a lot of fucking money. And that was only 2 years later. 2 years and change later. So that's a little strange, right? So we're going to see this again, though. And that's what's kind of weird about this whole thing. Now, this is Doty Avenue. This is the same one. Same, it's Hawthorne, California. Same thing. Same little building. This Bhatia and Trust, keeps buying these buildings. Again, it's interesting they live in Cerritos by where Peggy lives, but whatever, dude. They're not the ones that bought it off of Paddock, so I'm not worried about them too much. So here we go. We got Stephen Paddock, Carrie and Eric H. Now I'm guessing Carrie is Eric's wife. I'm guessing. Down here we have Stephen and Carrie and Eric as owners. We have their address is Cornblum Avenue, which is the next property we're going to end up with on this. Hey, how you doing? I know who you are. I know your channel now. I never knew your channel. Anyway, so Paddock, he buys this place, 350,000. Okay, not give me any red flags on that. Mortgage days in 1997. Hey, how you doing? Gang's all here, man. All right, so getting sidetracked here. Let's see. So he buys this 350,000 is the mortgage amount. Definitely didn't buy this in cash. Then we come up here, 2002, right? So in 5 years, they refinanced it to a fixed loan to value is more than 50% because now all of a sudden they refinanced this to $550,000. I don't understand. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? I thought you were the. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm confusion. I'm very confusion. Anyway, so what we got here is kind of bizarre to me. And again, this may all make sense to somebody, but it sure as fuck don't make sense to me. So Stephen Paddock, whoops, shit. What did I do? Wrong button. That's what I did. Doesn't say how much these people bought it for. Oh yeah, they bought it for 353,000. Okay, so then Stephen Paddock comes along, gives them 350,000. So they lost a few bucks on it, the company before him, and he gets for 350,000 back in 1997, and then somehow refinances it for $550,000. It gets its refi flag, loan to values more than 50%. Not sure what's going on there. And then the sale date is 2002. So I'm guessing this mortgage redone in 2002. That's what it looks like. It looks like the mortgage was redone in 2002. And I'm not sure what this Quaker City Bank. Okay, so this bank bought it out. Whatever Quaker City Bank, man, I've never heard that. That's crazy. Maybe I have to look into that too. Anyway, so here you got, $550,000 loan on a house that I don't know. Did it go up that much in a couple of years? That's a little crazy. Anyway, then we go up here, Patrick Delator. Of course, this is the same complex as the last one, so I guess okay, no big deal. Patrick Delator, Monica Reynoso. Quaker City Bank, same bank, gave them 1.2 million for this property. 1.2 fucking million, man, from 550,000, it got doubled. How the hell does that happen? In 2 years. In 2 years. Sale amount 1.4 million. All right. So these people looks like put some of their own money into it. 1.4 million was the sale amount. That's a lot of money, man. So all of a sudden it looks like Paddock just made 500,000, 550,000 off of this property. You know, and all he did was he refinanced it. He made he basically, it looks like to me, what this tells me is that he went to the bank on a property that he paid 350,000 for, which he didn't pay all the way, but that was his loan amount, was 350,000 for this property. And then he goes and he gets another 200 grand out of the bank. What does he do? I guess maybe he flips it, does some work, and then he sells it for more than double. That's a little extreme. That's really extreme, dude. To add $500,000 onto a house, I mean, that's extreme. I mean, there was the houses were cheap in the 90s, they weren't cheap in the 2000s. And then just to go 2 years, 2 years to double the value, that's insane. That's absolutely insane. Now we go up here and it looks like this Freeman Exchange Incorporated bought the house for 1.1 million. So this Delator guy bought this and then took a bath on it, because he bought it for 1.4 million and then sold it again for 1.1 million, 1.15. And let's see what the timeline is on this. It's only 2 years. So in 2 years, he sold it again. He's got a pattern of losing money, man. And then this Batia, they went and bought it for 2 million. So that was in 2006. And that was from the Freeman Exchange. So the Freeman Exchange made the money off of it. This is all from, I mean, I'm going straight through Paddock's report that I believe this was handed out by Turber. I believe that's what this is. But yeah, this is straight up Paddock's report, dude. There's just the properties he owned, is all this is. This is all the Paddock information. Nothing shady, nothing that's not already out there, running around. It's just stuff that I was looking at today thinking, what the fuck am I looking at? And then Cornblum Avenue in Hawthorne, here we go again. Now this is where things get a little strange, because we're talking about two properties in Doty Avenue or whatever the fuck. These are both those properties I just looked at that were really strange, the way they were sold and everything. Doty and Hawthorne. This is let's see, this is Doty Avenue and Hawthorne. So it looks like the same complex, right? This is all coming out of the same complex there. I believe we looked it up. It was just an apartment building. Can't really see much. It's just a giant building. Looks like any other apartment building in LA, but they're listed as condos. So Paddock had this in 2004. He sold this in where's the date? 2004. Okay, so he sold it in 2004. He bought it in 2001. So 2001, 2004 on the first complex here. And then the next complex he had was, let's see, 2002 with his brother. So I don't know, his brother living next to him, I guess. I don't fucking know. Okay, so he bought this one in 2002 and he dumped it in 2004. Same time he dumped the other one. So, okay. And it's about the same time frame. It looks like Paddock moved in there first, and then his brother decided to move in there, or at least get a place in there. You ever seen this before? Dude, you guys have this. I know you have this. In fact, I think it was True Secret sent this to me originally. So I know you guys have this. So now we go to Cornblum Avenue, Holland, California, right? This is the other one I wanted to get to, and this is pretty much where I'm going to end this is on this madness here, because you would expect, okay, the two in Doty, I get it. Um, he found a buyer, same buyer was buying out, buildings, those apartments. I get it. I believe this is the same thing though. This is another apartment that he owned. So, well, you got to talk to your girl, man, because your girl has this, because your girl sent this to me originally. Uh, Still have the email from this. And it was an old one, man. This was back in the early days, dude. This is the early days before everyone was mad at people. Well, before Turbo was mad at everybody and everybody was mad at him. This is the old days. Um, anyway, so we're looking here. We got a sale amount of 1.3 million. Okay. Paddock and Peggy Hudson, Irene Paddock, whatever, got this for 1.13 million. They got a bank loan of 1.35 million. Okay, that's fine. Paid off all their fees and everything. Had some money left over to fix it up, I guess. There's got to be multiple units, because there's no way they paid 1.3 million for a fucking apartment in middle of LA. So the mortgage date was looks like a 15-year, 2002. They started this mortgage about the same time they were living over there at Doty Avenue. His address on this is Marina Del Rey at the time. Yeah, you have to ask her about it, because she has it. She definitely has it. Actually, I take it back. They got a mortgage amount. The original loan they got was 1.3765625, which I'm guessing that paid all the fees and everything, and that was exactly the amount they needed back in 1992. And again, he was coming from Marina Del Rey, which why you would move from Marina Del Rey to Los Angeles, I don't know, but it is what it is. Anyway, so then he goes and in 2002 he refinances this thing for 1.35 million. Loan to value, and then it's got this refi flag. Loan to value is more than 50%, so obviously it's not worth 1.335 million. At least that's what that tells me. And then, so this was what, 2002? Then we go up here. Patrick Delatorre and Monica Reynoso. What the fuck? How do these guys have this relationship, man? That you have the same realtor and the same buyer for, multiple properties that aren't even, necessarily, they're in the same city, but they're not in the same place. But anyways, we look at this, right? So Paddock has a loan out on this thing for 1.35, and it looks like the sale amount was 1.13. So it's pretty close. I mean, whatever. Still got a couple $100,000 to do some renovations, whatever, fix up a little bit. This dude got a loan out for 2.3 million, almost double. Almost double. What the fuck is that about? And then he gets a loan for 5 million. What is this shit about? The purchase, I mean, even the sale amount is 3.2 million. From this thing went up from 1.1 million in 2002 to 3.2 million 2 years later. That's insane. That's absolutely fucking insane. I don't understand what the hell I am looking at here. It makes no sense to me. Again, they got a loan for 2.3 million, and it was 3.2 million is what they bought it for. It's saying, so they must have put some of their own money into it. These people obviously have money. It looks like here, this Frederick and Barbara Rosenberg put in 500,000 into the place. It's whatever deed and trust, all that stuff. I never really dealt with trusts too much. So it looks like they just threw some money in to lower the probably at the same time, honestly. Is it the same time? It's pretty close to the same time period. So Um, the reason the loan was 2.3 million was that people put 500,000 into it because we're trying to get up to 3.2 million. So, if you add the 500,000 that was put into this property, that brings it up to 2.8 million. And the rest of the money might have been theirs. They might have put 500,000 in of their own money. I'm guessing, not totally sure, but I'm guessing. Um, Unless they put the entire 1 million in themselves and then just got the loan down. And then later, this Frederick and Barbara Rosenberg invested into this somehow and yeah, giving them some money basically. I don't know. Then we go up here, 300 million or 3 million. I'm sorry, 3 million. Jesus. Um, really going off the deep end here. So they got a mortgage for a loan for 3 million. So how's that work? Your original loan amount was 2,300,000. You refinance this son of a bitch into a fixed, and you add $700,000 onto your loan. Why does anyone do that? And then they did it again. They did it again a few years later. So it seems like every couple of years, these people are taking money out on their loans. So I don't know how this actually works. Like what the actual hell's going on here? Um, are they taking money out as the property value increases? But is the property value increasing by that much? I mean, I guess if they own multiple units, but I mean, if they own the building or something, which I guess is, I don't know if that size of a building goes for 3 million. It might. If they own the entire building, maybe they're thinking that um, the building's going up in value that fast. It's possible once you get into the millions that things go up a little bit quicker as far as 700,000, 600,000 at a time for a couple of years. To me, this is a big thing because Paddock made $1 million off of this thing. His mortgage amount was 1.35 million, and well, that was in 2002, and they sold it 2 years later for 2.3. So he made $1 million off of this. Made $1 million off of this. To me, this is crazy. And then he sold it to the same person. Same person. That's to me, that's just weird. And then this is a different LLC. You know, um, I don't know who A and M Burn. I didn't look that up, but it was bought by, yeah, this A and M Burn whatever. I don't know if they own that LLC or what. I mean, the current ownership. Let's see. Cornblum Avenue LLC is the sale amount was only 2.4 million. So this property isn't worth. It's not worth. I mean, it says total value 5 million up here. The land value 2.7 million. Um, but the improvement value adds to that and adds to, makes the total value go up. But the sale amount was only 2.4 million. So following some of these is it's just bizarre. It's really bizarre because like I said, this guy took a loan out for this Patrick Del Toro. It seems like he's got a habit of doing this too. He takes a loan out of 3.6 million. Whoops, wrong way. 3.6 million, and then he sells it for 4.9 million to this A&M Buren, whatever the fuck. And then 4.95 million. So they transferred over, I guess, whatever. It's the same A&M Buren LLC owner, A&M Sarais LLC. Okay, so there was someone in between there that's not on this list. But yeah, 4.9 million. 4.9 million. And then we come up here. They got a loan from whatever Alliant Capital is for 2.9 million. So it looks like they put a lot of their own money into this, I'm guessing. And then they sold it for 2.4 million. They sold it for 2.4 million. So did they like did this A&M Buren take a serious bath on this property? Because that's what it looks like. I mean, it looks like they lost half of their value on this place. So anyway, that's what I was looking at. That's something I don't really understand. I don't really get what's going on here with this Patrick Del Toro and this Monica Reynoso. I know that if you look them up, there's a court case against them. And they didn't want to rent to some, I guess, I don't know. It didn't say what they were, but minorities. I guess they racism or some bullshit. I don't know. But that was back in the day before everything went hypersensitive. So I don't know exactly what was going on with that, and I didn't even look at the court case because I didn't care. We do have loan to value more than 50%. We get these refi flags on the 3 million, on the 3.6 million. We don't have it on the 2.33 million, so that's something. But then it does say the sale amount was 3.2 million here, so I don't know why you'd have a flag on 3 million on this thing. So not really sure what's going on here. I don't fucking get it, you know. And before this, we go to Rosamond. I don't think Rosamond had anything to do with the same people. I don't think it was the same situation at all. Um, so I'm not really too excited about this address here. Um, there's Paddock. Paddock, he uses the address of Big Bear Lake, the PO box. Not really sure what that's about, but he bought this for 66,000. What did he sell it for? Um, Sold it for 80,000. Okay, didn't make much money off that. Not a big deal. That's probably legit. No big deal. Um, and then Jacaranda Avenue, California City. This was like California City seemed like a weird thing to me. Um, California City was just a city that doesn't really exist. It's let's see what he did here though. So out of curiosity, I smoked my last cigarette here. Sale amount, he bought this 57,000 from First Interest Bank, which I'm guessing was when they built the thing. Grayling Development Incorporated. Yeah, I'm guessing what happened was they just built this property at that time. He bought it as a new property or new house. I don't know. There may not even have been a house on this property at the time. 57,000, and then sold it for 89,000. So he didn't make much money. Didn't make much money. Not off that. Cougar Road, Bear Lake, Big Bear Lake. Oh, that's right. We did have a property in Big Bear that he had, which has got to creep out some people, but I'm not going to talk about that. So, Team Paddock, looks like maybe they just built it. Well, it's hard to say, but there's like nobody before this. There's not even a development company, so who knows who owned this before? It says Seho International Inc. So who knows? 125,000. He bought it for. He sold it for 279,000, and this was within quite a few years, I think. When's he first got the loan for this in 93 and he sold 2004. See, that's what I expect to see. Okay, you're going to double value in that amount of time, because in the 90s, early 90s, being from California, shit was cheap back then. In the LA area and stuff, shit was very cheap. You could buy houses fairly cheap considering what they are now. And I could see that value doubling in value to 2004. Not in 2 freaking years. That's insane. 2 years is nuts. Hollywood. Let's see what we got here for Hollywood. Uh, Stephen Paddock. There we go. Okay, so he let's see. What did he buy it for? 448,000. I gotta look up his address, man, because Hollywood's got some nice areas and it's got some really bad areas. So let's see, in 2000. So this was before he bought the stuff in Hawthorne and shit. 448,000 is what he paid for it. And then this one's cut off, but it looks like they got a loan for 309,000. So let's see, did he take a bath on it? It looks like he probably didn't, because then this person sold it again for $448,000 for. Well, they bought it off. No, they bought it off Paddock for 448,000. I don't know who this weirdness is down here. Um, I guess that's their mortgage information. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. This is a mess. But they bought it off him for 448,000. He sold it for the same amount that he bought it off of. When did he buy? He bought it in 2000, and they bought it in 2000. How did two people buy the same property? That's weird. That's a little strange. I mean, because it doesn't have dual ownership on here. It just has Paddock as the owner, and then it has them as the owner at the same exact time. Weird stuff, man. Weird stuff. They lived in Arcadia, so nothing there that we can look into. And then that's them again. Now they're living in Toluca Lake. All of a sudden, they live in Arcadia and Toluca Lake, and same $448,000 in the year 2000. What they sell for? Okay, so here we go. Some other stuff. Husband and wife, 2002. All right, so 2002 doesn't have a price tag on it, but it's got a 430,000 mortgage, so it sounds pretty legit. Nothing, nothing screwball there. It looks like they held on to the property, but then they did a fixed thing of 825,000 4 years later. I don't know, man. How does that work? If anyone knows, you can tell me, dude. How does property double in value within 2 years to the point where or at least how do you get a loan for a property and double the amount of that loan in 2 years? And why would you do that in the first place? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what the fuck is going on here. Um, some strange shit. This is some really strange shit. At least to me, not understanding what this is. But to me, it was interesting. When he was in Hawthorne, there are these people buying up places in Hawthorne, and that was kind of the weirdness to me. Yeah, property value doesn't work like stocks, man. They don't go like that. Like that's not how these things work, man. Your house is. I mean, I guess in the last couple of years, housing prices have gone, through the roof and then back down. I guess, yeah. Try to think, man, because I've owned a few houses here and there, man. I keep moving around, but um, yeah, I guess a couple of them did double in value at some point or another. It's just strange that because usually when you get a loan, see the problem I'm having is if you get a loan, you buy a house, for $250,000, right? And within 5 years, let's say, if within 5 years, let's say that house went from I don't know, let's say a $250,000 house you bought, it went up to 500,000, right? You don't refinance your loan and get a $500,000 loan. What you do is you refinance your loan into a $250,000 loan if the interest rate goes down, and you either turn it into an adjustable or fix or whatever kind of shenanigans you're doing. You don't. The bank generally doesn't loan you more money than the house is actually worth. I mean, they could because, I guess the house is actually worth more, and now you're going to have more equity within that house. whatever. But why would you do that? Like, why would you sit there and why would you take a house that you're paying on at 250,000 and then just change the mortgage to a $500,000 mortgage? It just makes no sense to me unless he's making money off of that money that he's taken out of the bank somehow. It just makes no damn sense to me. I don't know what these people are doing unless you're going bankrupt, but this guy's got no bankruptcies. I can see if you're going like if somebody's pulling a scam or something, where they go out and they buy a house that they can't afford, and then they take a crazy ass mortgage out on the house they can't afford, and then they basically do a dump and run, and uh, they file bankruptcy so they don't have to pay it back. Because I'm not sure if these are loans you have to pay back or not. Uh, I I don't know because credit cards you do, but I'm not sure if these you do. So I could see something like that happening, but that's not what's happening here because this guy's never had a bankruptcy. And then once you have a bankruptcy, you're done, dude. You ain't buying no more shit. Nobody's ever gonna sell you shit again, or no one's ever gonna loan you money again. So I don't know. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say for today, man. This was very strange. I don't understand it. But mainly the ones I was looking at is these ones in Hawthorne that he's doing this stuff in Hawthorne. To me, that's very strange. The what is it? The Doty Avenue is one of them, and then the other one is Cornblum Avenue. I don't understand what's going on with these properties. I mean, and they're confusing because they're buildings, they're apartment buildings, condo buildings, stuff like that. Anyway, that's all I have for today, man. I'll get, like I said, maybe I'll come back today, tonight, later, and talk about the papers, uh, the what do you call it, the Jimmy Miller papers, because I do have a little bit on that, but again, I can't I still can't prove that they're legit, and I can't prove that they're not legit. So I'm stuck on those. But I do have a little bit more information digging around on some of the people within that. So I'm gonna get out of here, man. Everyone stay safe and talk to you later.